As an adult, how to handle my mum who left when I was 14. Now she wants to be close with me again. I'm a guy, 27 now, so well old enough to know better. My brother and I were born to a sperm donor because my dad is paralyzed. They brought children into the relationship because dad wanted mum to have some semblance of a normal life. The children were for her, not him. Starting around 12/13 she began having an affair for a year and then moved in with the guy when she was found out when we were 14, leaving us with dad to go live 4 hours away. The reason I'm mad is because she left the burden of raising teenagers on a disabled man whose aren't biologically his and who didn't even want the children to begin with. Considering her own well-being first above all others. No one should stay in a marriage they aren't happy in. I don't blame that, but to abandon your kids as part of that relationship? I'm not sure that's justified. She knew dad couldn't work. She knew we had no money and still forced us to sell the house while we were still at school and wouldn't pay him child support. She just stopped having anything to do with us. So now, recently, she's been trying to have a relationship with me again. She's lonely, no one comes to visit her, she says. A couple years ago she showed up at my house and broke down in tears because she says I'm so cold to her. I don't know, I've been letting her in because I feel guilty since she said that, but I also just look at her and see a betrayer and someone I can't trust. It's up to you how you respond. I would drop her, honestly. I like to say, you don't get to choose how your actions affect others. The way she affected your life is on her, not you. If she felt it was necessary to abandon her children when they needed her, then why should she be surprised that you abandon her now when she needs you? So basically I'm advocating you continue to maintain no contact with your mother. On a side note, how does a paralyzed guy with no job afford a house and kids anyway? Why would he even agree to have kids he didn't want if there wasn't an abundance of money? How did he get by after your mom left? Ask yourself, if her circumstances hadn't changed and she wasn't lonely, would she have reached out? You know what to do. She has to lay in the bed she made and accept responsibility for her actions. Why do you have to make her feel better? Why do you feel guilty? She should be for what she did to you. No. Genuinely, that woman can rot in hell. Not surprised at all, no one gives a fuck about her. You need to remove her from your life. Not an ounce of regret or remorse from her. She's going to take advantage and hurt you. Dude, she left you, now you're being a pushover by feeling guilty she dumped you. Don't let her in that house, just ignore her. My boyfriend constantly thinks I'm cheating. I know this has been posted a million times, but I'm getting close to my breaking point. My boyfriend of 2 years constantly thinks I'm cheating on him. We started dating at the start of the pandemic and we spent 24/7 together. We moved in together November 2020 and I went back to work summer 2021. I travel every weekend for work to multiple cities and I work in a male-dominated industry. My boyfriend has a lot of trauma from childhood, the military, and past relationships where he was cheated on. No matter what I do, he thinks I'm cheating. He says he's just logically putting puzzle pieces together and comes to the conclusion I'm cheating. For example, if I shave my legs or shower before I leave for a trip, if we're video chatting and I look in a certain direction, if I tell him I'll be at my hotel room in 30 minutes but then end up getting there in 10, he thinks he hears things when we're on the phone, even so far as accusing me giving someone head while we are on the phone together. Most of these things felt like they started when I went back to work last summer. He also got sober off of coke at the same time and started a new career. When I am home most of the time we are so happy and enjoy every second with each other. Lately we've been fighting more and more and we almost always fight every time I leave for work. He refuses therapy for himself and as a couple. He feels that we aren't there yet, even when I've told him I've been unhappy for months and I want to work on our relationship because I love him and don't want to break up. Most of my family and friends tell me to break up with him and I know I should, but it is so hard. I am the breadwinner of our relationship and pay the rent and most of the bills. He doesn't have much money or even a car. That's one of the reasons that I feel like I can't break up with him. I don't know what he would do. We talked about it once and I told him I would go to my dad's and he could stay in our apartment until he figures it out, but he said he doesn't want my charity. I don't want to have to force him to go to therapy, but I am reaching my breaking point with him. We have been stuck in this cycle for a year now and it doesn't feel like it's improving. I don't know what to do anymore. I'm starting to resent him. Edit. Also, I highly doubt he is cheating on me, even though I know this could be projection. He's very insecure and has a lot of social anxiety and I just don't think he is cheating on me. Why do you want to date someone who's constantly telling you that they think you're a shitty garbage person who fucks other people? That's what he's telling you. It's not about convincing him you didn't do it, it's that he has absolutely no problem telling you that he believes you would. It was exhausting just reading this. IDK how you're still with him. In case you didn't realize, the distrust will never end. Just gets more and more ridiculous and stifling until you isolate yourself just to appease him, or it escalates to something worse like physical violence based on assumptions and delusions. Well, I've been in your boat. My ex was a very jealous person. I wasn't allowed to have friends. I wasn't allowed to have phone calls with guy friends. I wasn't allowed to see them. Because according to my ex, I was hiding stuff and cheating. The man went for a whole house search when I was on a vacay with family. If I did manage to get out, he would blow up my phone and accuse me of cheating non-stop. He was the one cheating. I've never expected that either. But here we are. Now, I'm healing from this breakup, and slowly but surely I see now how toxic my relationship really was. How toxic those accusations were. Mind you, my ex has social anxiety as well. Edit. He also checked my phone, and most possibly used my fingerprint while sleeping. People who accuse their SOs of constantly cheating when they aren't are generally one of two things. Have severe trust issues and should not be in a relationship until they fix them. Are projecting because they are cheating and can't imagine a relationship where people aren't cheating and shouldn't be in a relationship. I know you say you don't think he's cheating, but this is entirely cheater behavior. What you've described to me sounds like he has his mind locked in evasion mode and thinks everyone is equally deceitful. Honest people just don't tend to automatically suspect bad intentions from their loved ones. Infidelity may not be his actual secret, just a distraction from the real problem. I think it's kind of safe to operate on the assumption that he's keeping something from you. Like how you said he got clean off drugs. He may be less sober than you realize or have picked a different vice. That's one of the reasons that I feel like I can't break up with him. I don't know what he would do. What did he do before you? You don't stay with someone because you feel responsible for them. That's what you do with children, and this grown-ass adult isn't your child. Won't go to therapy because we aren't there yet, even though I'm unhappy. So he's not willing to put in any work to help fix this problem that he's creating? Is he willing to do anything to solve this issue, or does he just plan to keep accusing you until you no longer leave for work? What's your long-term goal here? My 25F fiancé, 31M, doesn't have anyone to invite to the wedding. We are just beginning to plan our wedding, which will be in January. We opted for a winter wedding because our winters aren't cold and the summers are unbearable. Anyway, we were discussing the guest list and my fiancé doesn't really have anyone to invite. He spent almost all of his early to mid-20s traveling the world before moving here. He doesn't have any family except his mom, who can't come because of her medical issues. She lives in his home country. He's always been more of a lone wolf kinda person, so he has one sort of close friend and that's it. So the only people he can invite is his friend and the friend's girlfriend. Whereas I have a big family, so even if I just invited the really close people, siblings and their families, parents, best friends etc., it will be at least 60 people. And that's without inviting the rest of my family, coworkers, which would be well over 100. And I just don't know what to do. He said he doesn't mind, but I can tell he's been depressed about this for the past few days. It's like he just wants to get the wedding over with, and I'd like for him to actually enjoy it as well, but I don't know how to compromise. Too long did not read. Fiancé doesn't have any friends or family to invite to our wedding. Any chance of your family making him feel accepted? Then it would all be family. You really need to talk to him more about it. He is telling you he has 2 people to invite and you are wondering how to invite coworkers. This is the man you want to marry. You really need to consider his feelings. Small wedding with just immediate family is an option to consider. Go get married, just the 2 of you, and then throw a big party. That's how I'd do it, as I wouldn't have many people to invite myself. My situation is the same, except I'm the one with nobody to invite. I wanted to elope, so I could enjoy the day too, but he said no because he wants to enjoy the day with his family. I don't want to ruin his day or theirs, so I'll just have to pretend to enjoy it, even though I feel like the least important person in this equation. I'm dreading the ordeal and I can't wait until it's behind me. Most people in this situation would choose to have a small wedding. Why not just have a small intimate wedding with just immediate family and 1 or 2 friends each? Girlfriend clubbing as wingwoman, bullshit, or I'm being paranoid. Sue. My girlfriend and I are in a monogamous relationship. She didn't mention anything about having plans for tonight, but at around 9, she said she was going to play wingwoman for a single friend that wanted to go out and meet someone. I thought, that's nice of her. I find out that her best friend is not going with her, that it's an hour away, one way, so 2 hours of driving, that they decided not to go to the club but to eat dinner, and have not heard from her all evening. Am I being paranoid, or do you guys also smell BS? We are in a LDR, but have a trip planned for the 5th. I'm just trying not to set myself up to be the idiot that is the last to find out she is cheating on me like in every other relationship. But I also don't want to come off as controlling or jealous. When we met, both of us discussed how clubbing was boring and that we didn't like going out to be around drunk people. I dunno what changed or why I've never heard of this friend before. What do you all think? Well, she was out with an ex, so turns out, gut was right. Done and done. She's full of shit. Kick her lying, cheating ass to the curb. Oh, she's lying. Whether she is actually clubbing having dinner is irrelevant. She lied about what she was doing. It was planned, not spur of the moment. So she thought about it and decided to deceive you. Kick her to the curb. Good luck. Absolute BS. It is over. Save your money or take the trip with someone else.